Nations, through its Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, the UNISDR, observes World Tsunami Awareness Day on November 5th. The first observance on Saturday, November 5th, 2016, focused namely on educational awareness activities in small island states and coastal communities. Most tsunamis are triggered by earthquakes, and the Caribbean is one of the regions prone to earthquakes. So what is the likely impact of a tsunami on the Caribbean?
We may not have had this big dramatic earthquake with tsunami in the Eastern Caribbean as you would have seen maybe in the Northern Caribbean. But that doesn't mean that it can't happen. And the point is that given how we have developed, given the tourist industries in the various territories, the high density populations we have in coastal regions now, when such an event occurs, the impact is going to be huge.
In October, the UNISDR held a one-day conference in Trinidad and Tobago as a precursor to the first observance of World Tsunami Awareness Day, with the main objective being bringing awareness to the risks associated with tsunamis for the Caribbean.
I'm fully in support of our member states really going down the pathway of putting in all of the various elements to be classified as a tsunami-ready community and by extension tsunami-ready states. Part of that process involves interventions that will benefit not just for tsunami readiness, but the broader hazard readiness for floods, earthquakes, you name it. It involves communities being organized and mobilized. That is also one of the focus of the CDM strategy, which is looking at community resilience building. We have to look also at the institutional arrangements for warning and disseminating the warning. So those are areas within the context of the legislation, the model legislation that CDM has developed, the model policies that we have developed, the advocacy we are engaging in, and future programs we are seeking to develop that will seek to address the early warning system issues, but within a comprehensive way.
The Caribbean has been put on alert for a major earthquake, and the concerns are heightened as seismologists in the seismology unit of the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus says the region is ripe for a major earthquake.
Sometimes some of the research that we are doing at the Seismic Research Center suggests to us that you can analyze how these earthquakes are occurring, these smaller earthquakes are occurring, and get a sense of when a bigger earthquake might occur. Some research would describe it as accelerating seismicity. You see an increase in certain magnitudes of certain events. And in some areas in the Eastern Caribbean, we are seeing elevation in some of our activity. And in others, we are seeing it quiet, which is another sign that something might be preparing.